Welcome to Two Sisters Podcast with your hosts, Kristy and Melissa, who are real sisters bringing you real talk about life and faith through humor, insight, and community. Now, let's get into this week's episode.
What's up, guys? It is Melissa
and Kristy,
and welcome to Two Sisters Podcast. Hey. Today, we are going to talk about set your atmosphere for success in the context of like after breaking up, having being in a relationship and just breaking up. Kristy will basically give you some tips. I'll give you tips on how to set your atmosphere, set it up for success. And again, we are under, for this season 4 is all about growing through healing. And we all can, use some tips. Right, Kristy?
Yeah. So one consistent question that I get is, how do you successfully get over a breakup?
Mm-hmm.
Or how do I start to get over the breakup?
Okay. How do you do that?
Yeah, so you have to set your atmosphere for success. So one way to set your atmosphere for success is to watch what you watch.
Watch what you watch.
Right? So take stock on the type of TV shows, the type of, I would just say shows. So, nobody really watches like regular shows anymore, but overall speaking, are the shows that you're watching violent? Is it a whole bunch of, crime shows is a big thing? Is it a whole bunch of killing going on?
Mm-hmm.
Sexual assault, murder, kidnapping, and then is there some romantic things that you're watching? So that could be a romantic comedy, what you think is innocent, but you can watch, for example, a Hallmark movie. And the Hallmark movies are set up where it takes 2 hours for the man to kiss the woman. And that seems innocent, but if that 2-hour build up to them finally, kissing at the end of the movie, is that going to trigger you? Mm-hmm. Is that going to start? Okay. Is that going to start you to thinking about kissing your ex, being in the arms of your ex, having dinner with your ex? So stay away from romantic movies. Stay away from any, I would say, ratchet TV or / reality TV, whatever that is for you, right? Because what they're doing in these reality shows. They're fighting, they're throwing stuff at each other. It's a whole bunch of
violence,
sex,
assault.
A whole bunch of sex going on, a whole bunch of violence going on in the reality TV shows too. So basically what you're trying to do is you're trying to set a positive environment. And none of those things are positive. You may think that you can sit up here and watch a murder show after murder show after murder show, or a mystery show after mystery show, but those are heavy feelings, heavy spiritual feelings, heavy, just, it puts you in a state of anxiousness, mm-hmm. and a state of anxiety. And even though you don't know it's stress, mm-hmm. you building up who killed who did it. Mm-hmm. So that's not a good outlet for you, right? So replace that with positive TV shows, whatever that is. For me, I would say something positive would be like watching a cooking show, mm-hmm. like a cooking competition show, or like a game show, something, pretty neutral. Animal Planet was sometimes, the lions be getting it in, them lions be getting it in, them lions and monkeys. So
I don't do the Animal Planet.
You can't even do the animal show if you're trying to not get it in.
I don't do the animal show
because they be getting it in, right? So it just depends. or they be killing each other, right?
Right.
So
and they're violent, yeah.
Violence is violence. That is the start of one of my main things, and I have different categories of setting your atmosphere for success.
Categories. What do you mean by categories?
We're not going into that because.
But what do you mean by categories? What are you saying? For like categories of setting it up for success?
Mm-hmm. That looks like that's setting your environment up for success is home, work.
Oh, okay.
There's levels.
Okay.
So those were some
easy, practical things to just be careful and watch out for.
Yeah. And then what you listen to. So we just talked about what you watch. So let's talk about what you listen to.
Mm-hmm.
So what you listen to would be whatever your normal love songs are, or rap songs, or pop songs, or country songs, or folk songs, bluegrass, whatever you into, they have undertones, right? What is the purpose of this song? Mostly today's music is to get you sexually ready, to get you angry, to hurt somebody. Sexually ready, or either angry to hurt somebody, right? Or you are throwing some type of shade on how you better than somebody else for whatever reason.
Comparison,
right?
Mm-hmm.
Or how you
jealousy, envy.
Or how you are listening to somebody tell you that they better than you because they got more money than you. So then you feel low, like, man, bro, let me get my money up. Let me hustle. Right? All those things are causing, again, anxiety and stress, but you don't even know it.
Right.
So you're stressing out because you don't have no boo. Somebody's in the song talking about, I took your man, and I'll take him again. But you ain't got no man no more. Or how much they love somebody, or how much they don't, and then what about the angry love songs? You wasn't no good for me anyway.
Slash your tires, break out your windows.
Right, you wasn't no good for me anyway, so I'm glad I'm getting rid of you. So vengeance songs, not good, not a good idea during this time. Revenge songs, I'm gonna get you back, or you ain't nothing. You was never nothing for me anyway. I'm better than you. None of those are good things. That's not setting your atmosphere for success. So you replace those with positive music. So that be, if you're a believer, replace it with worship songs. Some sprinkling of like party Christian music, but be careful because it's not like, if you feel you putting on your jam, your Christian jam, but it's making your hips twerk. That ain't quite
where you should be right now.
The spirit that you want to be in. So like when I'm talking about like replace with positive Christian music, I'm talking about like worship music, like things that really affect you in a positive, deep way.
And connect you closer to God. Yeah.
So like get a playlist of those type of songs and then play those. And then of course the happy songs too. The happy songs that get you excited and optimistic about your day. And your next day, and your next day. And I have a whole list, but I think that's good. Quick little tip. Watch what you watch and be careful what you're listening to. And then take out the bad, put in the good, replace it with good stuff. Listening to the audio Bible. So if you're not listening to a playlist, you're listening to audio Bible. If you normally commute to work, and you listen to your favorite jam to get you hyped and prepared for the day, replace that with a positive based song and play that. Or listen to a positive podcast, nothing about relationships.
If you're coming out one. No.
Not if you're coming out one. You're going to be tempted to listen to every relationship advice you can find. No. Because this is your time of healing. So you don't need a lot of people in your ear, even if they're well-intentioned, right? If they mean you well, you still want to kind of cocoon yourself and limit the voices that you're listening to, right?
Yeah.
So if you're going to pick a relationship podcast, make sure it's just one, and it's maybe a Christian-based one. And kind of stick to that one. But still, this is a time where you're talking to God and he's talking to you and he's telling you what you need to do with your life. Right? And how that looks for you. That might be different than what the podcast is saying.
Yep.
Right? And then if you're not where the podcast is saying you should be, then you're going to feel pressure to get to that point. So it's really best if you could muster up the courage and strength not to listen to any relationship podcasts. Now, this is a good time to listen to maybe an interest podcast or finance, cooking, sewing, pets, music,
calligraphy, art,
drawing, whatever that is for you. So kick out the bad, put in the positive. Now, bonus. Mm-hmm. Well, you know what? Comment in the comment section if you want to hit a bonus tip.
Okay, all right then.
Yeah, interact with us.
All right, guys. That pretty much wraps up this particular episode. Again, this is about setting your atmosphere for success, as in regards to after a breakup. Like after a breakup, some things you want to basically stay away from all the relationship advice initially. And I was going to ask you though, right before we close, like at like what point I guess they can start to dabble into, or when do you think, I guess healing is different for everybody, but what is a sign, at least a sign, that they are okay to come out of the cocoon per se? You know what I mean? As far never like what? Mm-hmm. Especially if they're trying to, again, you take the time to heal, but again, you're not going to stay in the cocoon forever. So what does it look like when you're ready to come out the cocoon? Is there a sign? It
looks different for everybody. It depends on what you went through in that relationship, how long you were in that relationship, and if that relationship was verbally or emotionally or even, worse, abusive. So that cocoon, if it was like a relationship that lasted 6 months, since you want timestamps.
I don't want timestamps. I'm just saying for the person that's actually doing the healing and processing, and you're letting them know, hey, if you're talking to a gospel kind of positive song, that might.
So if you take this seriously and you're intense about it, which means like your whole day is audio Bible or gospel, Christian, positive,
only
worship,
positive
music, only.
Yes. Even the TV.
And the TV,
nothing relationship.
Cut off, or you just watching, Chopped on
or HGTV,
Food Network, or shopping for homes in the islands and what
mega mansions,
something, right? Something that totally doesn't have anything to do with violence, sex, romance. Okay. You can do that intensely. I would say before you can start like peekabooing at a rom-com or whatever is what you mean. And 3 to 6 months.
I feel like,
and that's for a 6-month breakup. So like, 3 months is a start for most people in most situations. 90 days of cocooning, detoxing, and again, there's a whole bunch of steps we have not mentioned. So there's more to it. This is just, it's meant to be a quick tip on where you can start.
Right. Because it's work.
So you would have to add those other bonus features that you can ask about in the comments or email us about in the comments. Those bonus tips for it to be a holistic approach, because this is just touching really the surface.
I mean, literally. Yep. And the email, guys, is podcast.twosisters@gmail.com. So again, guys, thank you so much for watching and joining us. Again, share your comments in regards to the bonus tips, or if you have any other comments and suggestions. And again, I like to remind you to be, respectful in those comments. Okay. Thank you so much for watching, guys. Till next time. Bye.
Thank you for listening to the Two Sisters Podcast, where we hope to encourage you on your journey of transformation and healing while having fun along the way. Follow us on IG and Twitter. Be sure to like, subscribe, and share it with your friends and family. It's available on all major podcast providers. Just search for Two Sisters Podcast. Till next time.